Thank you, Julia, for coming here to the Mind Machine studio. It's brand new. It's actually the first interview I make in Denmark.
Wow.
So,
and thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, I think
it's an honor to be first one in Denmark.
And you are from
Ukraine.
The country, that everyone in the world has their eyes on right now because of the war, of course. We're not going to talk so much about that because this Mind Machine channel is about art and music and all the thoughts that are behind that. But first of all, I would like to ask you, when and how did art come into your life?
Oh, I think I was born with it.
Yeah.
Since I was a really little child, I was drawing and painting and making some small sculptures and so on.
Yeah.
And then when the possibility was and I was big enough, then I started on the art school for kids.
Yeah.
And I went there maybe for many years,
Yeah.
7-8 years.
Yeah.
And I got education as an industrial designer of clothing. It was also, art was a big part of education, and art history and fashion history, and again exercises in drawings and paintings.
Do your family, your mother and father, are they also into art? Or
my mother she's a musician. My father is an officer, like retired right now. And my grandmothers and some grandparents, they were like painters, and some of them were painters, some of them making embroideries. So it is very long behind in our family that people are quite creative.
Yeah. So you have it in your blood.
I have something. I have somebody to be thankful to.
Okay, yes, that's great. And you, maybe I said right now that you are mostly into painting, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is my big passion.
Yeah. And how long time have you been here in Denmark?
It's like 17.
17 years?
18, don't ask me numbers.
No, it's a long time, so many years.
17, 18 years.
Because one of the things that I'm interested in also, it is about the culture, the differences, and how do you bring, do you think you have something from your original Ukrainian culture in your artwork? Do you think about that?
In my artwork, if you say that art is just the expression of what is inside, then of course yes.
Yeah.
I express myself, my thoughts, my ideas, how I experience the world through the glasses I have, and I have my own history and background, which is quite multinational. It's not only Ukrainian. My family members, they came from different countries. If you look at 3-4 generations, there is Spanish people and Polish and Russian and Tatar and Ukrainian.
Yeah, it is. There's so many cultures.
It's a mixture, and of course most of it is Ukrainian and Ukrainian culture, where I was living for many years, and I'm also.
Can you tell me a little bit about how it's, because I don't know a lot about Ukrainian culture, dance culture or whatever.
Yes, I can say that the common for all Ukrainians, like generally, it's very hard working people, and they're quite strong, and maybe the world see it, experience it also today, that they're working until the last drop of their blood. And you can also see very strong expression in arts, because there is different kind of arts, but expression is quite powerful and strong. And same with the music, there is a lot of emotions. You can compare the music, love songs to Italian, where it's feelings that go just up and down, and people are quite emotional, and they have very big world inside, and it's very old culture. There is a lot of treasures which people they have inside of them, and the way they express is quite powerful.
How is it to come from, like you say, a passionate culture, where you have strong feelings about the things you do and so on, and then you come to a place like Denmark?
I would say if you come from the hearth society,
Yeah.
and you come to a society which everything function, and you don't need to fight each day to show the other people that you are not piece of shit.
Yeah.
But you are a person with a big P.
Yeah.
Then life gets very much easier. Then you can focus your energy on something else. And what I see in the way Danish artists are, it's maybe it's very difficult to make generalization, because Danish artists they also have each person their own background and history and story they want to share. But I think there is more like joy maybe in the processes. There is many such flower art, botanic art. Many people they paint wonderful nature. So many nuances. It's very much. It's not. It's like more sensitive in some way, more sensual in some way. There is not some big contrast, but there is some sensuality. So like generally the feeling to the colors. I would say I can see difference.
Yeah.
I can say that I see difference in expression.
I know a lot of passionate artists also in Denmark, but compared to, for example, when I've been doing art in Mexico, I see art means so much more to most people.
But it's a very big difference. Here art is available. Anybody can allow themselves to take a pencil, take a canvas and paint.
Yeah.
And people they allow to express their own creativity. How good they do it, there is not a question here. Everybody has a right to be and right to express their creativity. In Ukraine it's different.
Yeah.
I don't say that people don't have right, but there is a lot of quite high demand on how good you are in the handcraft, how educated you are, how prepared you are, how good you know the art history, how deep and professional you come to the job as an artist.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of quite high expectations to the artist, and it's not so easy to come to the art market and say I'm nobody, I just like to paint.
When I look at the art scene in Denmark, I don't really agree on your point there, because I know a lot of people that do art, but they can never get into a proper gallery because they have not taken the education, or they don't have the right papers, they have not studied on the university level or whatever, and so no gallery really wants to take them in.
Yes, yes, I agree on your point. It's not easy here.
I mean, I'm not educated as an artist, and it took me a long time before I got into a gallery.
But here is a big competition because there is a lot art is available and many people they are doing art.
Yeah. But it leads me to another question. What do you think the purpose are for art?
The purpose.
Yeah, if it has a purpose.
Oh, I think there is really a lot of purposes.
Yeah.
But this is the creations of our mind, like language, normal language. Everything happened first in the mind. Everything we see around us.
Yeah,
buildings,
I agree completely.
cars, everything comes from the mind. And so art, it's like one of the languages we can speak. It's quite international. You can tell anything you want and visualize it just by using this language. But purpose depends what you want with art. Somebody want to make something which people, by looking at this, will calm down, will feel peace and satisfaction, and which helps in this stressful life to come in balance.
Yeah.
Like meditative paintings or...
Yeah, and you can also divide it up in the purpose for the painter. For the painter, it can be a lot of things. It can be therapy, it can be just some feelings that you're trying to express. It can be trying to become a better painter. It can be a lot of things. It could
become famous.
Yeah, there can be a lot of goals or
it can be many
things.
Ambitions.
Yeah, and for the one that is absorbing the art that some artist had made, it can also be a lot of different. Some people, they just want to buy something to hang that fits with the colors in their living room or
pillows on the couch.
And other people, they get captured by the history behind it, the idea, or
somebody just like colors and don't like the empty wall.
You were looking at these cards that I have designed, the Mind Machine cards, and usually when I make an interview with people, they will draw 3 of these cards during the interview, and there are 3 different things on the cards. It can be just one word, or it can be a question, or it can be a statement. And then we will talk about the subject that's on the card. I'll just show a little bit.
Interesting. Creative mind.
It's just to do it a little bit different, also to put the intuition into play, or like a third part, that your intuition will help you maybe pick a card, and then we'll see.
Only one?
Yeah, one at a time. And then we'll...
May I look?
Yeah, of course.
Angels are real.
Yeah, do you think that's true? What do you think about it?
What is the angel for you?
Well, I am the one asking questions.
Angels are real. Everything what we can create in our imagination, it's already real in one or another dimension.
Because that is the interesting part. It is what is real and what is not real. Because we have like a common reality, but we also have our own subjective reality.
Yes.
And some say when we're dreaming, that's also reality. But what do you think?
I think the angel are real as long as you believe in it.
Yeah. Do you believe in? Do you believe there are like a guardian angel
like with wings and so on?
That takes care of you? Or
not in this way.
No.
Just there is nobody in this world I call for the angel.
No.
No, for an angel. I don't know any angels.
No.
Do you?
I don't know actually what I believe there. I think I have some. I don't know if it's like an angel or a creature, or it's just some energy that I can go into and talk to, and then it can send me guidance.
Yeah, this is not an angel if you don't believe in angel, right?
Well, I call it like an angel.
You call it for an angel.
I call it like my guardian angel. Yeah, and I can sometimes I get like visions or messages. Just like
from angels.
Yeah, I do.
But angels can be different. Some of them are evil.
Well, that's your perception.
Probably.
But you don't believe them.
No,
You just told
not,
me you don't
I'm
believe-
not. I love traditions and I
Yeah.
love to be in church. And we talk about angels, like those small babies you see in the church, and I don't believe in it at all. Babies with wings.
No, but that is just some.
I'm not religion.
That is not. That is kind of personalized versions. I'm not really religious either. I consider myself very spiritual.
Maybe we are angels. We
Who knows?
we
Who
can
knows?
be our own angels.
Yeah.
Somebody.
I think so too. Actually, in a way,
In a
because
way, yes.
there's one thing is for sure, that there is some kind of very precise order in the universe. That's how you can calculate to send a rocket to the moon, and it calculate exactly precisely when it will land, and how the planets are circulating around and so on. And that's because there is some very precise order in the universe. And the same order maybe we can tap into and get guidance from. Maybe that's what my angel are. I don't know.
Maybe.
Uh,
Maybe. I believe in what I see,
yeah.
in what I sense, what I feel, and there is maybe more things I sense and feel than I see. But to put words on it, sometimes you don't need to put words on it. It's like limits.
That's why we paint.
Yes, words they put some limits on what you feel, to express what you feel. Maybe that's why we paint.
I think you have to take one more.
But no more angels, please.
Well, it's you who choosing.
Oh, it's a big one. When your focus is on giving instead of receiving, your soul gets liberated from your ego.
Yeah.
Ego is such a big
Yeah.
thing that doesn't matter what we do.
Yeah.
We,
You cannot liberate
do we
yourself from
have
it.
focus on receiving or giving? The ego is always in the center.
You think so?
I think so.
Yeah. I don't think so.
You always receive something.
Yeah.
When you give something, right? It can please yourself.
You think you only give something to please yourself?
No. But this is you always receive something. Appreciation. You receive some knowledge. You receive some.
But the thing is, when you
satisfaction. You feel you to a better person when you receive, when you give. So this is a big question. Why you give? Because you don't have ego, or because it's feeding your ego?
Yeah. I see your point. I'm not sure I agree though, but because I think it's very hard to dribble around the ego and get liberated from it. I think it takes first a lot of discipline, and you have to practice. And I don't think I don't think ego as a bad thing.
This is exactly I wanted to say. It's part of our nature. I think ego is a good thing. It's part of our nature. It helps us to survive, as you say, both physically and psychologically.
Yeah.
Ego, I don't think so much about ego. I think it's a very nice and very great thing to give, to share. To share knowledge, to share information, to give what you give present, to give something from your heart. It's a just good thing.
Yeah.
And people are happy and you are happy.
Everything has an opposite in some way.
Yeah.
And I don't see it as separate things either.
No, it's nice.
Like good and bad is the same kind of thing. It's just the opposite poles of the same emotions. You should have the last one.
The last one.
Yeah.
Okay, I take the broken one.
Okay.
Everything that exists has a feminine and a masculine side. Everything, maybe everyone. I would say everyone.
Yeah, but only persons or what? Or
Yes, I don't think the coach has two sides. No, not everything. No, no, because I'm joking. But I think yes, everyone, every person has a feminine and masculine side.
so you don't think mountains or trees or
This I don't know. I can.
no, I'm not asking what you know. I'm asking what you think.
What do you think? I don't think so.
No,
I think everything has a spirit and soul
But-
and life,
mm?
feelings. But masculine, feminine, I think there's some concepts which people created.
Because in some cultures it is very very divided. What is what? But you have it in all the languages also.
Not in all,
Danish,
not in
it's
Danish.
not. Yeah, you still have it. You still have it. It's just more hidden. Like you have en and it. That's also feminine and masculine. So it's but like in Spanish, it's very all the Latin
Ukrainian
languages.
also.
It's very like
Everything like he's, him, or it.
yeah
There's three in Ukrainian.
yeah.
This is again, it's a result of our creation, and
Yeah.
it's easier to divide everything in black and white and yin and yang. Now it's a big discussion about the gender. So
Yeah, it's also an interesting thing.
if you feel like a cat today, then you're a cat.
That is a crazy thing happening. Well, from my perspective, it will change the world. It has already changed the world, and hopefully for the better. To go back to the art in the Ukrainian culture. How is the future for it?
I'm afraid I don't know future anymore.
No. So,
I hope
yeah.
that country will survive, that culture will survive,
Yeah.
language.
Do you think
I
maybe?
don't know any future.
No, that's how it is now. With
But
the
somebody says if you know past, you can guess future.
yeah, of course you can learn a lot from history, but people don't seem to do that a lot.
I think art will be the last thing which will die. It's evolution of art. That's the evolution of everything.
Is there anything like here at the end? If you should if you had some young people here that would like to be artists,
Yes.
what would your advice be for them?
You cannot become an artist. You can just do art and develop in it.
Yeah.
As I say, it's like a language. Develop your own. Express yourself.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for inviting me. Such a nice studio.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much.